Savannah Chrisley has had a contentious relationship with some of her siblings, and now she is revealing she can no longer trust her brother. She has openly struggled with her sister, Lindsay Chrisley, and blames her for her parents' incarceration. Now, she is done with one brother, but why? Keep reading for more details. It has been a long road for Savannah Chrisley. She has spent the last 3 years in turmoil over her parents being locked up. They were sentenced to a collective 19 years, and Savannah immediately jumped into action. She became the guardian of her two younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe, while doing all she could to get their parents freed. Savannah campaigned, called, and petitioned while working and being a mother. It was not easy, but it all paid off in the long run. Todd and Julie Chrisley were pardoned in May 2025 after 2.5 years. Now, the family is back with a new reality series that documents their lives as they attempt to get their parents pardoned. Additionally, it will feature the moment that Todd and Julie are finally reunited. In the latest clip for Back to Reality, Savannah is having a family dinner when she is asked about the pardons. Her brother, Chase Chrisley, wants to know an update, but Savannah makes it clear no one will ever know. She explains that her brother cannot keep anything a secret, so she does not trust him with this sensitive information. Fans and followers saw that Chase seemed to have the falling out with Savannah. He was not vacationing with her and their younger siblings and was in and out of trouble. By the preview, it appears that they have remedied their fractures but are still on thin ice. Followers who saw this clip were shocked by how much Chase and Savannah Chrisley were struggling to get along. They both went their own ways, but should have found a common ground. Some viewers who saw the latest clip from Lifetime believed that the family was destined to fall apart. They felt that Savannah Chrisley and her siblings would become estranged down the line. Yes, they rallied together to be by their parents' side, but that is not enough to keep them close. It does not seem that fans are that thrilled with Savannah Chrisley or her behavior. They have given her credit for all she did for her parents. However, she has now become insufferable in many ways, and this may not bode well for the series. Do you understand why Savannah Chrisley does not trust her brother? And should they work on rebuilding? Let us know your thoughts and watch Back to Reality September 1st on Lifetime. Family bonds are often thought of as unbreakable, especially when life presents challenges that require unity. Yet, for Savannah Chrisley, the daughter of Todd and Julie Chrisley, the bond with her brother has been shaken to its core. Once bound tightly by love, laughter, and shared fame from their family's reality television empire, Savannah has reached a breaking point. In recent revelations, she admitted that she can no longer trust her brother. The sentiment is heavy with emotion, a mix of betrayal, disappointment, and the painful realization that even family can become strangers when loyalty falters. A family once defined by unity, the Chrisley family rose to prominence as reality television's picture-perfect unit. Their hit series, Chrisley Knows Best, highlighted Todd's sharp wit, Julie's calm presence, and their children's youthful energy. Viewers were captivated by the Southern charm, playful banter, and seemingly unshakable family values. At the heart of it all, Savannah and her siblings appeared inseparable. They laughed together, argued as siblings often do, but ultimately showcased a loyalty that made audiences believe nothing could fracture their bond. This image of family perfection was tested when legal troubles descended upon Todd and Julie. Their convictions and prison sentences changed everything, forcing Savannah into the role of caretaker for her younger siblings and reshaping the family dynamic forever. What once seemed untouchable began to crack, revealing struggles that reality television cameras never fully captured. The shift in family dynamics when their parents reported to prison. Savannah stepped into adulthood with responsibilities that far exceeded her years. She became a mother figure to Grayson and Chloe, managing school schedules, emotional needs, and the absence of their parents. While this responsibility showcased her strength, it also highlighted where some of her siblings fell short. Instead of rallying together, fissures grew. Her brother, once her partner in playful sibling chaos, was now someone she could not depend on. The weight of responsibility, coupled with feelings of abandonment, deepened the rift. Savannah's words about no longer being able to trust him carry more than frustration. They reflect a broken promise of unity at a time when she needed it most. Trust as a fragile thread. Trust within families is often assumed to be automatic, a given rather than something earned. But Savannah's admission reveals how fragile that thread can be. Her experience shows that betrayal within family walls cuts deeper than any outsider could inflict. It is not merely about actions. It is about the failure to show up when it matters most. While Savannah has not detailed every incident that eroded her faith in her brother, the implications are clear. Promises may have been broken, support may have been absent, or personal choices may have clashed with the collective responsibility of caring for their family. Whatever the cause, the result is the same: a bond frayed to the point of mistrust. The public eye and private pain. Unlike most families, the Chrisleys live their struggles under the public gaze. Every feud, every hint of division becomes fodder for speculation. For Savannah, her confession of mistrust toward her brother magnifies this pain. Not only must she process the personal betrayal, but she must also endure the judgment of viewers who once believed the Chrisleys were unshackledly close. This dual burden, private heartbreak and public scrutiny, adds layers of complexity to her journey. Fans see headlines about fractured trust, but few truly understand the late nights, the arguments, and the unspoken disappointments that led to this moment. Strength and vulnerability. What makes Savannah's revelation so striking is not just the confession itself, but the courage it takes to voice it. To say that one can no longer trust a sibling is to admit vulnerability, to confront the world with a painful truth many would rather keep hidden. In this honesty, however, lies strength. By acknowledging her fractured relationship, Savannah reclaims control of her narrative. She refuses to pretend that all is well when it is not. Instead, she lays bare her reality, showing that love does not erase betrayal, and that trust once broken cannot be restored with words alone. Sisters Hartaki. Behind Savannah's words lies the ache of a sister who once believed her brother would stand by her through any storm. The Chrisley siblings were not just co-stars on a reality show. They were companions in a whirlwind of fame, criticism, and public fascination. To lose trust in such a bond is to lose a piece of oneself. The pain is amplified by the knowledge that their parents are not physically present to bridge the gap. Without Todd and Julian at the helm, the siblings must navigate their own disputes. Instead of uniting in shared responsibility, division has taken hold. For Savannah, the fracture is not just personal, it threatens the very stability of the family unit she is fighting so hard to protect. The symbolism of trust lost between siblings carries symbolic weight. It reflects the larger disintegration of the family image that once captivated millions. What began as a reality show built on family unity has now morphed into a story of survival, fractured bonds, and the challenge of rebuilding relationships under immense pressure. Savannah's mistrust symbolizes more than a sibling dispute. It symbolizes the challenges that arise when fame collides with real-life struggles, when the demands of responsibility clash with personal choices, and when the bonds that once seemed eternal prove to be fragile. Moving forward without dependency and admitting she can no longer trust her brother, Savannah simultaneously acknowledges her independence. No longer can she rely on him to share the weight of responsibility. Instead, she must forge ahead with her own strength, carving a path for herself and the younger siblings who depend on her. This decision, though painful, marks a turning point. It is the recognition that not everyone will rise to the occasion, and that sometimes family can fail us in ways we least expect. For Savannah, moving forward means finding strength not in her brother's support, but in her own resilience. The burden of the eldest daughter, Savannah's sense of responsibility is heightened. She feels the weight of protecting Chloe and Grayson, ensuring that their innocence is preserved despite the chaos surrounding them. This burden, though admirable, isolates her further. Her mistrust toward her brother means that she carries the load alone, without the reassurance of shared responsibility. It is a lonely path, one that many eldest children can understand. Yet for Savannah, the stakes are higher. She is not simply filling in for absent parents. She is doing so while navigating fame, public judgment, and her own personal heartbreak. From this painful revelation comes an undeniable lesson. Trust is precious, not guaranteed, and once lost, it cannot easily be reclaimed. Savannah's journey highlights the reality that family bonds are not immune to fracture. They require effort, loyalty, and the willingness to stand together when life unravels.